Coming up on First at 4, what are some of the possible issues veterans face when trying to receive mental health help? An education summit in Paintsville seeks to help develop solutions. And House Republicans choose a nominee for Speaker 3 weeks after Congressman Kevin McCarthy's ouster.
Plus, warm weather continues for much of this week, but a cool down is looming by next week. Those details coming up as Mountain News First at 4 starts right now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, suicide awareness among veterans was at the center of an education summit in Paintsville this morning. The Suicide Awareness and Lethal Means Safety Summit was the first of 4, meant to bring awareness to veterans' mental health. The goal was to gather professionals and community partners to share what is and what is not working in their respective communities. Officials say they hope to help veterans feel supported by their community.
One thing we all agreed, we need to get the message out to the community and get feedback for the community. There are a lot of struggles in Eastern Kentucky, and I think it's fitting for us to start here in Eastern Kentucky to get the on-the-ground truth about the problem, but also develop solutions with professionals that are from this area as well.
The task force hopes to host the summit in other parts of Kentucky as well. We will have more about this tonight at 6. 2 Middlesboro High School students are in a program with a prestigious university. Isa Ahmed and Kayla Heck, who are 11th graders at the school, were accepted into an MIT outreach program. The students participate once a week in a course called Girls Who Want to Learn Many Interesting Things. STEM director Chris Stott says teacher engagement with innovative thinking has inspired students like Ahmad and Heck.
Those types of activities, like hands-on and activities that are focused on authentic problems that kids see in the real world, there's just this natural connection between that content and student interest.
Chris Stotts also says the Perseid Foundation, which was founded by astronaut and Middlesboro native John Schaffner, was a big part in making the connection. We will have more at 6 on the students' opportunity. President Biden hosted the awards ceremony for the National Medal of Science and the National Medal of Technology and Innovation today. During his remarks, the president called the ceremony a happy occasion and highlighted how his administration puts science at the forefront of its policies and legislation. He said tapping into the knowledge and talent of scientists should not be about politics.
In this administration, America will be the place where great science happens. Starting on day 1, in the middle of the pandemic, we vaccinated a nation, the greatest operational effort ever undertaken by this country.
The president also congratulated the honorees and thanked them for their contributions to the promotion of technology. He said their hard work will pave the way for the next generation of scientists and innovators.
We are tracking some beautiful weather across the mountains for your Tuesday afternoon. Plenty of sunshine and blue sky, also some very comfortable temperatures. Here's a live look from the WYMT studio in Hazard, and you can see not a cloud in the sky. That temperature is well above average. We should be near 66. We're up to 77 right now in Perry County. Most of us in the middle to even upper 70s, up to 78 in Harlan, 77 for Jackson, also Manchester, and 75 in Pikeville, also Clintwood at this hour. A clean sweep continues up on First Alert Pinpoint Doppler, and like we talked about on Monday, this is all thanks to an area of high pressure over the eastern U.S., and that will continue to be the big story as we go into this afternoon, also into tonight and much of your work week. That high pressure is going to continue. If you have any plans for your Tuesday evening, the forecast looking pretty good. Those temperatures back in the middle to upper 60s. And those lows back in the middle to lower 50s and upper 40s as you wake up on Wednesday, and more upper 70s and possibly some lower 80s on the way later on this week before a cold front by early next week. All those details coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Cameron, thank you. Republicans in Congress have picked Congressman Tom Emmer of Minnesota as their nominee for House Speaker. They are trying for a third time to fill the top leadership position and get Congress back to work. Emmer jumped out front in private balloting today as the top vote getter among the hodgepodge list of mostly lesser-known congressmen for Speaker. But it is no sure path to the gavel.
Nothing about this has gotten better, and anybody who says it's getting better that's just not true.
Emmer can only afford to lose a handful of Republican votes and still win the gavel. Emmer won a simple majority of his colleagues behind closed doors, but will need the support of almost all Republicans during a House floor vote. It's been 3 weeks now since Republicans ousted Kevin McCarthy as Speaker. Republican presidential candidate Chris Christie has made the cut for the November 8th GOP primary debate. Christie will join Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley, and entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy. Former President Donald Trump has also met the donor and polling thresholds, but he plans to skip the debate again. Trump is scheduled to attend an event near Miami that same night. Coming up on First at 4, China's defense minister is out of a job, but he's reportedly been out of public view for 2 months.
And our stretch of dry weather lingers thanks to high pressure. Your forecast on the way after this break.